What's up, guys, and welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Lord-Methus. Castle levels is 14, so we'll just jump into it pretty quickly. Generally not a lot of stuff available to you until like level 20, so there's not all that much you can do. Generally the only advice I can really give is on like placement and stuff like this. Like having your snotter, or spotter, it's not necessarily a snotter obviously, having the low point unit that kind of spots for your group so that you can't engage, say, this Cyclops. Like if I'm an archer here, I can headshot down this Cyclops, or as a knight I can, use Lashing Flames and just kill that and take it out of the picture, and then I only have to deal with this part of the group now. So that's 6 points that I dealt with without really even having to engage the rest of the group. So just little things like that is really the advice that I can give on these lower level castles. Other than that, it seems fine. Okay. So you got this little flanking group here. I kind of noticed it and I was a little confused at first, but I understand it now. Is this guy... Okay, he's on Raising Hell. That's good. I'm not sure about the room choice itself, but I think that the group choice is fine. Like, I'm wondering if you could pick a room where you can have a group before this Dr. Skull of like smaller trash mobs, or even just a normal group, and give him a little bit more corpses to raise up from the dead. But all in all, it's fine. Alright, derps being pulled through the wall. Zeke accidentally went into this archers. I do like these archers though. I would like them to be a little bit more spread out. Even if you had to like put them so that they aren't all in a line or something. Like, I'll tell you kind of what I'm talking about in a second once I clear this. So how you had him right now, they were kind of all like right in a line right here, and then you had one that was up here. Even if you had like one here, one over here, one in the middle, and then two in the back, the range on headshot is quite long, so it won't matter if I aggro them here and these guys are up here, they'll still try to take shots, and that will make it so volley's a lot less effective. Even having one like over in this corner, but you do want to have them so that they are lined up down this hallway so they can shoot down the hallway. But yeah, I like archers like that, especially at these lower levels. It seems like you have to kind of get a lucky shot to win, where either someone doesn't know that they have to dodge out of the way, they don't know the timings yet, or you just get lucky and they didn't really notice it or something. That generally is the way that you get kills at these lower levels, because people have enough potions available to them that they'll probably make it through if they're spamming potions. Alright, Puppeteer, pretty easy to take out. I would say if you could move him either to the other side of the wall with the other part of the group, or just back away from the attacker as much as possible. Probably to the other side of the wall though, although then they might be able to skip the entire group, so I guess it's kind of up to you what you do. You don't want to make it so that they can skip the group though, if you can help it, by like hugging the wall. Again, same thing, the Zeke was a little out in the open, so I was able to grab him and like take him out of the entire group. You want to have these derps farther forward, almost as far as they can forward, like as far as they can be, without disconnecting from the group. It's pretty important. Also, your Defendatron could be 1 or 2 hexes closer to the Zeke and actually be linked to him before the battle starts, like this Dr. Skull is. Let's see if I can do this correctly. That was definitely not correct. I was trying to Lashing Flames the Dr. Skull, and I missed him again. Okay, we're just not going to do that. We're just going to kill it straight up. It's much easier. I like this group. It has multiple things going for it. You've got the archers that you need to deal with because they'll just constantly shoot arrows at you and be annoying, and then you have the Dr. Skull that's just going to be resurrecting everything. So it's pretty good. I would like it more, I think, if this trap was down farther, because you're going to do most of your fighting here, almost always. Like, the group is up here, but I'm going to aggro it down here, so there's no reason for me to keep running into the group unless I'm chasing after the Dr. Skull or something, which generally I'm not going to do. Maybe, I mean maybe, but also these mines should go to other places in your castle. Most important when you're using archers, because if I dodge around these mines, the archers have to walk straight up and really close to me, and then I can use Area of Effect to take them all out once they group up. So you want to make it so that I can't dodge around these mines to be able to block off shots. Other than that, it was a pretty good castle. I like some of your stuff, like with the mass archers and stuff. Those are things that I used to use when I was in the lower levels. So we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up is Kazow. Castle levels is a 32. I believe I've ran his castle a couple of times. The name sounds familiar for sure. So let's jump into this and see what he's got. Alright, so we have a Mr. Boom Boom starting out. Did he already summon? It looks like he did. Which is a little annoying, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's kind of terrible. You want to try to get around a wall anytime you face Explodifiers or Mr. Boom Boom. Simply for the fact that he won't start summoning until he makes line of sight. And then afterwards, he only has to be within a certain distance. So like the first bomblet out has to make line of sight, but then after, if you go around a corner, he only has to be within a certain distance to be able to start summoning bombs. So it's a pretty big difference. You can get him a lot closer to you if you wait for him around a corner. Alright, we don't want to pull this into the next room because it's a Dr. Skull pull. I'm not sure exactly how you could make this pull through the room. I'm guessing the best way would be able to have a derp on the other side. Instead of like when I get inside of the room aggroing it, if you could have it... I know that's what you're doing with the Mr. Boom Boom group, so it's kind of difficult. I'm not sure if you can set it up with this room or not. You know, I haven't looked in depth to these people who use... Now I'm actually doing the exact wrong thing that I'm supposed to be doing though. I pulled it back into this room when I was talking about it, and I don't want to do that, because like he can resurrect all of those free units back there, which is what you want to be going for on a defense side of things. But anyway, I haven't looked into the first room Dr. Skull builds all that much, so I don't know exactly how to do them yet. But if you can find somebody else who does it and then just like see exactly what they do to make it so that people constantly are pulling their Dr. Skull into that room, it'll help you out. Oh, that's really bad for me. That might kill me? No? Okay. I have to get more potions as well. I think I started with 3 instead of 4. I just have to play a little bit more carefully. I should be okay. But I do like... I like the battering rams, but at the same time, I don't know if I like multiple battering rams. Like, I think maybe 2 is good, but having more than that is actually wrong, because it's the same type of space control. So yes, you can have 2 because one of them might die early, like to a headshot or something. But then having more than that, I think you're never going to get hit by multiple battering rams at the same time. Unless they're coming from different angles, which is kind of unlikely. Alright, let's fight this in the open room. I think that's better. Although there's a dampener over here that I haven't aggroed. Or yes, I have, never mind. He's just hiding back there. Which is weird. Okay. I see a derp, that's all I see. Alright. So yeah, that last group was fine. Different space control. The spider is kind of weird, but like the little spider is kind of weird, but I don't think you had enough points to put anything else in there, so that's fine. It looks like this could be a fake. I feel like that should have already came by now. Alright, we're gonna pull this. This guy's a little bit too close to the wall. Like, if you can move him back a couple hexes, it makes it a lot more difficult for me to just auto-attack in there and aggro it. And then obviously, I have to fight the group back here rather than inside of the room, which isn't the biggest deal in the world because it's a Dr. Skull. The only thing you get out of that is the skeletons. I have less room to work with as they're trying to attack me, and then also the 2 derps that you had in here will also get resurrected, but that's really the only thing benefiting it. So let's see, if I would have attacked it inside of here, I still have a small place to work with. That added benefit of possibly aggroing this group. So I think the derp being here is fine. It's not really a big deal. That I can aggro it and pull it back through the room. They're both equally as challenging. Fighting the Dr. Skull in here or fighting the Dr. Skull back there. I think they're both fine. So yeah, you can see how much hit points these stupid battering rams have now. It's kind of crazy. Like 5 or 6 auto attacks and he's still not dead. Lucky block by me. Although I think I had just rolled. Alright, and then dampener. Alright, this group is fine as well. I'm gonna skip going back for that health globe. I think I'll be fine without it. Alright, this is very obviously a Dr. Skull pull, so I am going to pull back a room, which will make it easier on me. When I actually face the Dr. Skull. Well, I was pretty sure it was a Dr. Skull pull, but looks like maybe now it's not. You shouldn't really rely on spiders to do much damage by themselves, though. They just get shut down so easily by volley. Vamps have gotten better. I don't know if they're worth it yet. I probably won't use them. I've done a little bit of testing. I do like the elite vamps more so than I used to, but I still think that they're kind of borderline useless. Like, in certain circumstances they can be good, but for the most part they're not. Alright, what's over here? Nothing. IMAX, Defendatron. I can also skip by that spike trap and not take damage. That's something you might want to consider. Alright, IMAXs still do a lot more damage than Stairmasters do. Resistances are still low, obviously. That's what I don't like about them, but they're okay units. I wouldn't like get super excited by using a ton of them in my castle, but one or two is okay. Alright, Squidlies and Derps. I mean, this feels like there's going to be another Dr. Skull pull next, but I'm not sure. Derps can do okay damage if they actually hit you. One hit me for 300 there, which is reasonable for a 1-point unit, but generally they won't hit you. Squidlies attack a lot faster, do 280-ish. Again, same problems as Derps, so they get one-shot volleyed and they're not really all that fast. So it looks like no Dr. Skull, and then a Zeke that's kind of out in the open here. I'm not sure about as well. Can headshot that down. It looks like you had the Defendatron there, but he wasn't close enough to be linked, so that's something you'll definitely want to look at. Either not close enough or maybe facing the wrong direction or something to link to it. But yeah, I was able to just headshot that Zeke down. If it was linked to it, I wouldn't have been able to do any damage to the Zeke, which is way better for you. So it's pretty big. Alright, let's see. So there's a ton of mines here, and I'm not sure if that's good for you or bad for you. It looks like for right now it's bad for you, but I just got stuck on a minion, so that kind of made it work out. But it's a lot easier to dodge around things that kind of like projectile type things. I would consider a Charging Cyclops and a Battering Ram to both be projectile type attacks, since they charge at you. And when it comes to mines, if I have something that's charging at me, I know if I step right here, it won't hit me. So it makes it a little bit easier. It's kind of the same general dodging technique, but it makes it, I guess it makes you feel safer when you can dodge behind something. I don't know. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but the mines aren't really helping, I guess. Like, I like the mines much better when you're facing an IMAX like this. And maybe that was your intent, to have the IMAX come through the wall? I'm not sure. Did I actually need to fight this? I don't really remember. I'm not sure if I could have skipped one of these groups or not. Feels like I may have been able to, but I'm not sure. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not going to focus on that too much. Alright, so now we have these Stairmasters, so we'll see how difficult... Oh my god, 800 damage crit. That's kind of high. Yeah, I would say that these are better. Quite a bit better than Ominous Orb. Like, I actually have to concentrate to kill these, because they do quite a bit of damage. Like, their damage adds up a lot, and it's very difficult to focus these guys down when they're teleporting all over the place. This mine is actually helping me, though. It looks like maybe you had an Ominous Orb set up here, and you switched it out for these Stairmasters and you left the mine in. But you noticed how I was kind of dodging around these mines, making it so that these projectiles won't hit and stuff. I would take that out, for sure. Oh god, that's gonna kill me, that's gonna kill me, that's gonna kill me. Oh my god, I lived somehow. Somehow, guys. I believed. Alright. Well, that was a good setup. I mean, I vaulted over it, or rolled over it, you know, and got pushed back on it, and I love that sort of setup. It's really high damage for, like, the value. Not the value, but, like, the point cost, I guess. They're all going to teleport out of this, and then I aggroed the boss room as well, so I'm just going to pull back. And then I also timed out, which may have been from me talking. But either way, like, it's still a pretty good castle. It's got a lot of damage in it. And I almost died. Arguably, I should have died. I might still die. But I think I'm okay. Maybe, maybe not. Jesus. Again, probably could have died right there. So yeah, there was a couple things that I would take a look at. You know, some of your Defendatron placements and mine placements and stuff like that that make it a little bit easier on me, but definitely a good castle. I used 3 potions and I almost died twice. So we will jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, and lastly we have Fornate. Castle levels of 23.
You're going to be far poorer 3 minutes from now.
Alright. Couple Snotters leading into some of these smelly warriors. I wish I was kind of lower level so I could kind of show why these guys are not my favorite units to put together, especially on this specialization, I guess I should say. It's just like, if I were to just throw a volley on my head and dance around for a little bit, they would either all die or be 1 auto attack away from death, probably. I only like smelly warriors when they're used, when one of them is used for space control. Only a single one in one group on heavy-handed ability, just to have some extra space control. When they start swinging, you can't be in a small area around them. That's space control that you like. And then you have 2 traps on either side of it, and then you have some other space control units that, you know, have space control like linearly, like a battering ram or a hunger bot, you know, things like that. I like those type of space controls, but I don't think that this specialization's all that good. Alright. That's fine. Let's see. So as I've said, I like these Stairmasters better than the other ones. At least now I do. And at these lower levels. This is all fine. Also, if you get far enough away from these guys, you can see that you can make them take damage. That's another reason why that specialization is kind of useless. If you just kite them from a far enough distance, you can kill them. That only really applies to ballista bows, though, I guess, because they have the longest range. The other ones are slightly shorter, and I don't know if you could do it as easily. 3 charged Cyclops might be a little excessive. Generally, you're only going to hit with 1 of them, because then you're going to start getting pushed back, and the other ones will stop. So, unless they're coming from different directions, you won't really take the damage from all 3 at one time. So I think it's like a little excessive. Zeke without any support, it looks like. Definitely throw on a Defendatron on him or something. So you can't just get one shot headshot like I did there. Alright, I'll just get close to these guys. They're not all that scary. Looks like you had a hunger bot over here. He's a little bit too far away, I would say, to really help out in the fight. He's on the slow specialization, which does combo pretty well with the Pete Poundmore, I guess. It's like the least damaging out of the three, and it's not super threatening in most circumstances, but I guess there's a couple situations where it would be scary when you have a Pete Poundmore attacking you. But like oftentimes an archer is going to have roll. When you get snared by this, you're still able to roll away from the Pete Poundmore. A knight has to get close to him anyway to be able to attack. I think it does have some attack speed slows though, associated with the punch thing there. And then obviously mages have that vortex rift. I don't know if that's the name of it. The kind of like roll ability as well. Alright. So another 3 Cyclops. Like you can see how the one was leading. If I, like maybe in this circumstance I would have gotten hit by all 3 because they kind of hit me into the wall. But if there's nothing to stop you from getting charged, by the time the first one stopped charging, the other 2 stopped charging, so they won't all 3 hit at the same time. Alright, some Vamps. You just kind of throw a volley on your head and walk around to deal with Vamps generally. I think that if I'm even level with them, they can survive a volley. Or if they like get 1 tick of a heal from a puppeteer, they definitely can. But if you auto-attack them a couple times as well, like with a ballista like I have, it's pretty good. Pretty bad for defending though. Alright, and then for a boss room, is this guy on AoE? It looks like he must be. So what I want to do is headshot this Dr. Skull, which should be farther in the back, so that I can't do that. Alternatively, I guess I could have headshot the Zeke. Either one would be good for me. This volley isn't actually like nearly as inviting as it looks like. It looks like you're hitting 5 Snotters, and you know, I mean you are hitting 5 Snotters, a Defendatron, and a Hungerbot, but the 2 big units are actually on the outside of this AoE, and if you can line up a headshot on them, that's much more inviting, I would say. To kill like a 10 or a 12 point unit rather than all of these trash units that aren't really going to damage you. So if you can hide those guys, those high priority targets, more in the back, and maybe block them off a little bit with mines, or I wouldn't even say mines because you have a Zeke, but just hide them in the back so they're a little bit harder to see. It might invite more people to drop the volley down and waste that volley attack because of the Defendatron. So yeah, pretty good castle overall. That's number 3, so we'll end the video here. As always, if you enjoyed it, do please subscribe. If you want to hear about viewer castles, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. A link in the description to a spreadsheet where you can see kind of where your castle, when your castle is going to get run. I run usually 1 video a day, so that's 3 names a day. I have them all split up on there. It's just an online spreadsheet that you'll be able to see your name on whenever I update it. So thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.